a perfect outcome to all things is assured. Yeah, a perfect outcome to all things is assured. Yeah, I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. In every situation, there's a blessing somewhere. Come gather, brothers and sisters, and we'll see that it is there. Ooh, I need you, you need me. Yes, you do. And that's how our happiness is guaranteed. Take it, boys.
And now, in all your doings, be you blessed. Through you is ushered in a world unseen, unheard, yet truly there. Holy are you, and in your light, the world reflects your holiness. For you are not alone and friendless. I give thanks for you and join your efforts on behalf of God, knowing that they are on my behalf as well, and for all those who walk to God with us.
Sing it with me. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things, yeah, is assured.
Wee doggy!
A really good time. I love that.
That is totally awesome. Yes, faith leads the way, not fear, as Santa says. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Santa. I'm glad you like that song. Yay! I saw
We're getting a new all the hand motions together.
Yeah.
You know, got to get all the hand motions together for this one, so we'll spell all that out.
Well, we saw Arizona dancing with Tika, which was totally fun.
And that's kind of what we've been talking a little bit about today. Did everybody enjoy Billy's
dancing with Tika?
No. Dancing with Tika. I love that. Tika. It's my autobiography. Billy had a really good sermon today.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You know,
the homily.
Talked about how everything is okay already, right? It's my thinking. It's by me talking myself out of that idea, right? It's like, perfect outcome.
Yeah.
Is assured
exactly
in all things. If I could see it correctly, if I can see the obstacles, right? Yeah. That's what we all are talking about today.
Yeah, it's been a great afternoon so far in the sanctuary. Boy, woo! We've been listening to everybody, and it's just filling our hearts because we've had such an incredible weekend, and we're gonna share throughout the time here.
Are you?
But I want to give a quick shout out to Connie and Ellen because it looks like they're probably driving home from their Thanksgiving. They said they're
we did this.
Back.
Yeah, we did that yesterday.
We did that yesterday.
I know. So thanks for taking us on the live. Sure, there's a lot of people traveling. Today. The sanctuary was half the pews were filled this morning. Did you see that? Only like half the pews. There's usually like 700 million people in there. There was only like this handful ran in from the rain.
So that's part of the perfect outcome that has been for us. We went to Glen's family.
I haven't seen them since like a year before COVID. So so nobody's been traveling or anything. So it was a big family event. Where all kinds of things happen. Do things happen when you get together with your family? Yes, things happen. It's truly. This was one of those Thanksgivings.
It was.
I thought maybe
it was. It's kind of has one too. Well, you
So-
know, it. So
And I mean that in the absolute best way, memorable.
yeah,
right?
we were
To
so
talk about
surprised.
this, the big reveal.
The big reveal. Yeah.
Thank you.
We were totally surprised. I remember we're going to share more, but like one thing was that we haven't been to either of our family's functions. What a big surprise for Yolanda. We haven't been to either of our family functions in a long time, and a lot of it was because of the way we were perceiving our family now. Isn't that interesting? So we had a big, huge reveal that our perception was not the case at all. So in that reveal, boy, woo, it healed a whole bunch for both of us.
I know.
It really did.
Like they always say, there are at least 17 sides of every family story, even if there are only 2 people involved. Right? There are always at least like many ways to tell this story. Right?
Well, Sandra and she would love to hear more, and we are going to share more.
And and it's kind of go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, I want to say that. How is it healing? Yes. So, just right off the bat, what happened was we were both kind of nervous to go to begin with, and like I said, it was because of our own perception of our family. Well, we're visiting Glen's family, and so we had this perception that, you know, they were generally not accepting of who we are and this, that, and the other.
Tolerant.
Yeah,
at
tolerant,
best.
not accepting, you know. And what a surprise we had when on Thanksgiving evening, Glen was able to really talk to his brothers about his incorrect perception about them and the family. And then it caused a ripple in our whole gathering that was healing in the sense that we didn't think we had a family.
You know.
And we left knowing that we actually have a family. Now, I want to tell you that a lot of
It's nice with everything that's going on in the world.
It
My
really
family
is.
made sure with that all the things that are happening in the world that we weren't going to be abandoned in their families like they see so many of their friends and family abandon the LGBTQ plus side of things. So my family went the mile.
Yeah.
And
They went all the way in welcoming
about
us and
big
you know.
big seriously, like we're
loving.
kind of mad that we would ever, there was a possibility that there was ever
we would think
that we would think
another
that
way.
You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
like even to the other end, it's like we've
So we faced our fear.
Yeah.
We found out that our fear was not valid, that
Right.
it wasn't true.
Right.
You know, and of course, you know, everybody has their own
and you-
perceptions. So there were perceptions from
Right.
their side that weren't true. However, it didn't matter because what we're experiencing is, oh, I'm just been looking at the illusion all these years. You know,
I've been arguing with the story in my head and
Right.
not what was happening.
not what was really going on.
And
which underneath it all, no matter if there's arguments or this or
Yeah.
that or whatever, they showed us that they were there for us. And I also want to say this, that
It can happen.
it
can happen.
It most certainly can. But what I specifically want to say is that our interaction with you here, our chosen family at Awakening Together, really opened us up and prepared us to receive this love.
Like, guess what? You taught me I could trust you, so I could go trust my family.
Yes.
How's that?
Yes.
How's that for awakening together?
Yes.
You know.
Yes. That
know?
is exactly what has happened with our experience with y'all.
Yeah.
And oh my God, how
What if it's not 1970 all the time? What what if it's actually 2020 and I grow up, everybody grow
2022? Yeah, here we are.
What? Yeah.
So that's the.
I don't have to live in the 80s or the 70s or the 90s.
Right.
You know.
And so that's the basic, gist of it.
Right.
Now, the next step would be to go visit my family. Let's try that. See what happens there.
I think that would be graduate level, right?
No,
No.
graduate level for us,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
us, for our perceptions, yeah. So, anyway,
So it's kind of interesting that right around Thanksgiving,
Yes.
the lesson structures change.
we move into a new section called "What is the Ego?" However, before we do that,
what is our thinking? How is this whole system moving into being able to recognize the old paradigm, being able to recognize an old paradigm and not act on it anymore? You
Yeah.
can recognize it. Go ahead.
well, what I want to do is before we get into, reading the workbook lessons and moving into our the rest of our program that we usually share, I want to once again sing Ad Gure Name. Hopefully you can sing it with me. I'm going to put the lyrics in the chat. I know Connie and Ellen are in the car, so they won't be able to see this, but it's, you've heard me sing it a couple of times. Maybe you'll hear it and want to sing it. And this has been so comforting to me. Like, we get, like I said when, a while back when we first started singing it, this is one of those songs that they recommend you sing before you drive. So you guys are driving, Connie and Ellen. This will be a special blessing
It's
on
supposed
your
to wrap.
your
It's a power of
journey.
protection.
It's a power of protection,
so everything
yeah.
goes well and there's no mishaps or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, so
Right.
this is great. I'm so
this
glad
is-
you're in the car. I know, right?
We get to transfer this magic directly to you.
This lovely, lovely frame of mind.
Yeah.
Really. It's I bow to the eternal wisdom.
Right. So it's I'm aligned with what is real, so I am not going to be hurt. That's kind of like the basic idea.
Exactly.
I align with what.
And that is what we
real.
did at your family.
That's exactly right. It always works. It looks like it takes courage, but it always works.
Yay, I'm so glad you like that side. Yay. Look, Meg has joined us.
Yay.
Oh, we're so glad
Thanks.
you're here, Meg. Yay. We were enjoying hearing from you earlier in the day, too. Oh, man. We're home. We're a family.
I know. We're home, right?
Oh, that's so awesome. So, thank you. Thank you. So, oh, it feels soothing. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it really, really does. Oh, you want to do this first? Okay. All right. Before we do the
Well, what do you think?
well, let's do the lessons first
Great.
because this was fun.
Another, because so the power protection. What do you need? So the power protection really speaks to understanding the difference between what is real and what isn't.
Unreal,
You know,
yeah.
so that's like what we're just saying. I'm going to align. I'm going to understand and look at the world, or try to, or through the healing to my best ability with I'm going to be with what is, because that's the best for my awakening now.
Yeah.
Right, this choice to awaken now. So the issue said this. Section 12. What is the ego?
We're in the workbook.
We're in the
right
workbook.
now,
Yeah, the workbook lessons.
and it says, and this is section 12. What is the ego?
So read the first sentence in the first paragraph.
Okay, the ego is idolatry.
Read the second
The
paragraph.
ego is insane. The Son of God is egoless. To know reality is not to see the ego in its thoughts, its works, its acts, its laws, and its beliefs, its dreams, its hopes, its plans for its salvation, and the cost to believe in it entails. The belief in it entails.
And the cost, the belief in it entails. It's called bottoming out. Right?
Wow,
I mean,
that's
how many times do you
interesting.
want to make the same mistakes?
Right.
Right? Some of it, I'm not like me. I don't know, 58 years of it. You know.
Listen to what she says in the last paragraph here.
I just want to read the whole paragraph.
Okay,
Read
yet
it.
will one lily of forgiveness change the darkness into light, the altar to illusions to the shrine of life itself, and peace will be restored forever to the holy minds which God created as His Son, His dwelling place, His joy.
And today is.
And today's lesson is, there is no conflict, for my will is yours.
Turns out that could be true. We could experience that, but that's so.
We did.
This is
we
knowing.
have. This is like
who we
really what we've
are.
been
This
experiencing.
is
Yeah.
how foolish, Father, to believe your Son could cause
himself
himself to suffer. What narrative am I believing? The one that says I have to suffer, or that I am this body, or that
Yeah.
it's just really. It gets finer and finer. My ability to understand and act on it for my own healing, it gets greater. So
It does.
because of the actions. It's like, why do you do what you do? Because it, like he was saying this morning. Billy was saying, because it works.
Yeah.
We work it because it works. All those AAs, those
Yeah.
AA slogans and addict
They're
slogans.
very,
It's
very helpful. Very helpful.
And we
Yeah.
learn all of that.
And
together.
another thing, as we were listening this afternoon, I think it was Rhoda that was talking about facing her fear, because she was talking about her son boxing, being a boxer and going to watch him and everything. And then it was so funny because Diane came. Was it Diane? I think it was.
I
Diane
think it was.
Came in and said, "Well, I did.
I
went
just
to
started boxing.
classes."
It's so cool. It's so pretty. And it's like, it's just completely. It's like,
It's funny, right?
it's really is the narrative. It's your narrative. It's your perspective. Perspective is everything.
Yeah.
And our experience and willingness to see and look directly at what we're afraid of.
Hey, Reverend Jack Glen.
Hey, Jacqueline.
Happy holiday weekend.
No. We're talking about facing our fears. I mean, family. I mean, fears. I mean.
We had an amazing.
Yeah, we had
experience.
an amazing weekend.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ring the
Everybody
bell.
was
and-
there.
Everybody was there. Yeah. I'm gonna ring the bell and do some just a little quiet moment and sing you a song, and then we'll go to the lesson for the day. How's that? Let's do that. Here we go. Wow. Once again, we are filled with gratitude and joy as we come together in this Awakening Together sanctuary, where we co-create this unconditional circle of unconditional love, which includes everything that we like and everything that we don't like. And as Glen and I have learned over the weekend, as we face our fears, as we liberate ourselves from our fears, as Marianne Williamson says, our very presence automatically liberates others. And we've had somewhat of that kind of experience this weekend, and we are so full of joy and gratitude and thankfulness and just love for this Awakening Together community and a newfound love for our birth families, and we're so grateful for all of it. Let's just take a moment in, complete silence for just a moment to celebrate the miracle. Before the dawn, whoa, it's unfolding for us all. Loca, somasta, sukino. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May my thoughts, my actions, my words, and my deeds contribute every day in some big or small way to happiness and freedom for us all. Whoa, it's unfolding for us all. A series of miraculous events are unfolding for us all. Loca, somasta, sukino, bhavantu. Yes. Miraculous events.
Tell everybody what
Unfolding.
Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu means.
Oh, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. May my thoughts and my actions, my words and my deeds, the meditations of my heart contribute in some small way, each and every day, to the happiness and freedom for us all. That literally is what it means.
I know.
I just add a few words in my song there, but
I know.
that is literally what it means. So.
It's I just love that.
I do too.
It's very cute. And you do it on the ukulele, which is one of my favorite things. I want to have you all this talk of boxing today. Well, I was preparing for this lesson, and the idea of a boxing match is a really good metaphor, especially when we're talking about the ego and healing, and what our intent is, and how could we possibly be with what is, the obstacles, and who's looking, and who's hurting, and who's suffering, and being with this is what we're talking about. So this idea of a boxer is boxing match is kind of interesting. So I had in my head just a vintage picture of a couple of boxers in a 1919 press photo release of Carter and Fulton, a boxing match, just a big deal.
Well, it's just so funny because we have to thank Rhoda, for bringing that metaphor to us today.
It was lovely.
It was just a great one. It was just a great one to see what all we've been. And as we read through this is so how spirit works. Like Jacqueline just we had this really amazing experience with Glen's family this weekend, where everything that we had been thinking about his family was completely wrong.
We're worried about and concerned about.
Yeah, it was completely wrong, right? And they went over the top to embrace us and love us and make sure that we knew that we were a part.
Went the extra mile to make sure that we were okay.
Yeah,
we were.
So as we were reading this particular section, which was the next section we were going to do anyway. It just is amazing how it coincides with that.
This chapter 29, is called The Awakening. That's what the chapter's called, The Awakening.
Sorry, everything is just so funny.
And she's talking about in section 4, where you find yourself, if you read 12.8 pages a week, I'm sure you do. Probably 13 sometimes. So is this section 4 is called Dream Roles. Dream roles. Who are you, or who do you need to be in the dream? And of course, the way the Course in Miracles uses the word dream is like unreality, right? That's the illusion, right? The dream, the shared illusion. So she's talking about what is the role that what we play, and how that messes with our freedom and happiness for all.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is the suffering we create for ourselves when we create dream roles for others.
Oh gosh, yes.
Dream roles for others.
Hi, Marie.
Hey, Marie.
It's so nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here.
So how do we do? Can we examine Can we look at the unexamined ways that we need roles in the world that we need other people to fill for us?
Oh, and
in order for our story, like the narrative we're telling about our story,
on them.
The other characters in the dream, this character in the dream, the other characters in the dream. So fascinating. This is called a new. I call this like a new vision. You see the world in a different way. This awakening means that there's a new way. You fundamentally are having a new way of looking at the world, and kind of the basics are that stuff should stop, or our habits shouldn't be tripping us up so much anymore. We are healing. We do see progress, and we do begin to see the world slowly, like a curtain aging, begin to see through it more and more and more and more and more, right?
Yeah, we are beginning to see through it more.
Yeah, just naturally, because we're because we act on what is true. So you find yourself like looking at the ways in which we've wrapped our thoughts and our thinking around people and not let them be themselves.
That's a good
and we've
point.
assigned very strict roles to people, even ourselves. And could we learn? How do we learn to not put up our dukes, or not everything constantly be in a boxing match, or competing, or for something like that? How do you? And we're learning that in a very practical way, that's who we are, so we can act on it. So there's 6 paragraphs here. It's really, really lovely. So read what I've got highlighted there for the first.
I will, but first I want to say it looks like Connie and Ellen got home safely.
Oh, good.
So that's lovely. Okay. So here we go. Course in Miracles, Chapter 29, The Awakening, Section 4, Dream Roles. And it starts off like this.
What is your dream role?
It says, do you believe that truth can be but some illusions? They are dreams because they are not true. The choice is not between which dreams to keep, but only if you want to live in dreams or to awaken from them.
I know. There's your.
Now, see, this
that's
is
a
our
bumper sticker.
Well, this was our key experience this weekend.
Yeah.
We chose
to not live in a story that wasn't true.
That wasn't true. Yeah. You cannot dream some dreams and wake from some, for you are either sleeping or awake. And dreaming goes with only one of these.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier today, the choice is whether you awaken now, not in the future, not when someone treats you a certain way, or like I used to say say the magic words, say the magic words. You know, you have to for me to feel okay. We need magic words.
Yeah, somebody was talking to me today about. It was in the meditation, like you know, when you're asleep, like where. You know, if you really are your thoughts and everything like that, what happens when you're asleep? That was Michael, and I thought that was really funny.
Those choices to awaken now, and so the subtle thing is the discernment when you go to sleep, and the discernment for waking and sleeping. Oh, I'm acting on this old paradigm. Yeah. I found my boxing gloves. Like, how did these get here? You know, and you just take them off again, right?
And I have to admire you, sweetie, for really living into that. I'm really proud of you.
Well, discernment of dreaming and waking. What world do you want? It's waking to the truth. Why? Because it's so satisfying. Right? It's the thing that satisfies. That's how you know it's the truth. And you can act on it, and it's always the truth. And she says you can tell... begin to tell and pick apart or see through or shred the curtain that hides that we want, the story that we want in front of reality. We can begin to see it by examining our intent in our relationships with others, even with things. Look at your intent, right?
What do you think What do you think your intent was when we got to your family's house? What do you think?
Not to be hurt. You know, just to get along and there not be an incident, there not be a big thing, so it was just go regular, right?
So what happened? Do you think?
Not that. or it went absolutely regular, like it does every other time.
Supposed to,
you know,
right?
No. It's that's what Thanksgivings are. That's what Thanksgivings are for. So, what is my intent? What do I want to happen? Well, my default intent is healing. Right. I go in and everything is like, and I don't make decisions. I take it to second place to get the first. I want the right thing to happen, so I'm not making decisions. I'm saying, what do I say? Where do I go? What do I do all the time? You know? So I was walking around here, but I was taking directions, you know, which is why I think
yes, you were, because you know, as things do sometimes in family gatherings, there's a little argument going on, but you decided
conflicting narratives.
People
say that didn't happen this way or happened this way or whatever like that.
But you decided to listen instead of, you know, imposing your narrative.
Right.
So that's one thing that I thought.
Willingness is really the key. Willingness again to see things differently. You know, well, I was given everything I see, the meaning it has for me. And if everything, you know, do I want my dream and my narrative of suffering to be true?
Right.
You know, and do I want this role that I say it's not fair? I have this. I keep putting it on. It's not fair. I have this role. Stop putting it on.
Yeah.
You know, and I assign a role. I may assign roles to other people. You're the villain. You're the good person. You're the whatever. You're the savior. You're the whatever. You know, to be aware of those things. It's the awareness. And the touchstone is this true? Right. So read the next one. Read the next page.
So here we go. The next paragraph says, the dreams you think you like. This is great.
She doesn't quit. She's still gonna. She's about to take my head off. Watch.
The dreams you think you like. She doesn't take your head
I
off,
know.
honey. She's very gentle and very sweet.
I know.
This is
I know.
not anything that's been taking your head off.
I know.
It's been just very,
Read
very,
the part
very
I've
sweet.
highlighted.
Okay, here we go. The dreams you think you like would hold you back as much as those in which the fear is seen. For every dream is but a dream of fear, no matter what the form it seems to take. Ha ha! The miracle were treacherous indeed if it allowed you still to be afraid because you did not recognize the fear. That's
That's what is fear for? You're wrong. That's what I learned. You know, it's like, oh, can I look at that?
Can I look
Can
at
I
that?
can I even stand to be in the same room with my own fear? You know, can I stand to even be in the room with the how awful I wanted the whole thing to be? You know, could I even stand?
Wow.
That story, to look at even that story about who I am and who likes me and who doesn't. So the judgment, just the judgment, holds us in the dream.
It does.
Just letting go of the roles. Oh, does this have to? Is this really, what's the reality of this? And we've talked a lot about getting here, about the different ways in which we join. We've been talking for 2 months about the different ways in which we join. Now, we've been working for 2 months on being able to recognize each other, the divinity. I see the light in you, sees the light in me. We've been doing a version of this, understanding this namaste in different kind of organizations, whether they're closed people or working people, and the institutions we create by taking actions on what is true in the world and how we can be healthy in the ways that we interact. So she's moving on to, it's like, well, that is really the fundamental idea, to be living in that awakening, leaning into that awakening state, where you are constantly shredding what is in front of reality. And we're beginning more and more begin to understand is, I don't know how everything is supposed to be. I don't know what the role everybody is supposed to play. And because she says every dream is a dream of fear. Because it's not real. It's the illusion. Its job is to frighten us because we ask for it. We set it up and we maintain it. So the miracle is seeing that there is nothing to fear. Because you're reminded, it's like, reality, when we get it, really isn't frightening. Oh, I'm going to be afraid now that my family just insists that they love me.
That they love me.
Guess
what?
And they're not, and they're,
And do you know what was really odd? Because it affected, it certainly affected me too, in the sense that now I feel like I have a loving family, and today, what we were experiencing a little bit of,
oh, this is funny.
Regret. Like I had to give up my drama, and it was like,
oh, this story.
Oh, what was me?
This story with your family,
And we're sitting here today going, that's weird.
I'm a little sad. I have to let that go. That was working. That worked like for a little while, didn't it? Somewhere.
But not
maybe not.
Maybe not.
So are we getting good at? Do we want to shred the curtain, or you want to build it back up again against reality? Do you want to steep inside the dark stuff and block out the light? Or what is our intent with a relationship? The miracle is seeing that there's nothing to fear, because reality, which is so satisfying, really isn't frightening.
Right.
So read the next bit.
Okay, so in simplest form, it can be said attack is a response to function unfulfilled as you perceive the function. Function.
She hasn't let up. If you thought that was all she had to say on the dreams the dreams of suffering that I held so deep in my heart,
so dear.
But my suffering is me. You don't understand. My story is me.
Yeah. I was, anyway. So,
in the simplest
form, it can be said, attack is a response to function unfulfilled as you perceive the function. It can be in you or someone else, but where it is perceived, it will be there. It is attacked. But where it is perceived, it will be there. It is attacked. Right. Okay. Yeah.
We attack people who aren't fulfilling the roles that we have assigned to them, whether or not they've received this script or not, or even whether we're even aware that we've built up this script for even ourselves in the way everybody is supposed to act.
Yeah.
and they're intense, and we know what they're thinking. Well, not really. This is why she's good. You're seeing the world. This isn't fooling us anymore.
Right.
So attack is in the dream. It's a response to a function unfulfilled. Yeah. Well, what's that? That's 4 ways to say. That's 4 words that mean judgment, right? That isn't what you're supposed to be doing, but not like that, right? It's like my cat. Pet me, pet me, pet me. Not like that.
She's sitting. She just left.
And she also uses this to express depression as well. Mm-hmm. So this judgment, this roles aren't functioning, leads to depression. Mm-hmm. Literally, we are pushing down reality. We are pushing into a story of suffering.
Right. So,
and then she says, remember, there's a line of the materialism that you want to make you. So be wary. Pleasure and pain are just veils that cover this core of fear of being yourself, of being okay, letting go of the narrative. What's going to happen if I'm not my story or my thinking or my feelings?
That's the miracle.
So the pleasure and pain that the bodies go through to have to deal with, and please manage your pain.
Yeah, of course.
Look at and your fear. But it says it often, when it is a response to getting mad or assault, the assault and attack on others, especially the way we think the world has got to be, or the role that we need to play in it and others needed to play of it, it is really, there's a core of fear that, like, I'm fundamentally not loved. I fundamentally don't belong. I was talking with the group. It's like discovering this year that I had a core belief that because I was somewhat of a different thinker, maybe ADHD a little bit on the spectrum, I had this realization that one of my the way my story expressed the I am bad belief is that I don't think like everybody else, or it was difficult for me as a kid, so I'm fundamentally less human. So my version of the I am bad belief is I'm not as human.
Wow.
Wow.
We really looked at that this weekend. Oh, Regina's here. Hi, Regina.
Yeah. So the attack is always in the dream. Mm-hmm. Pleasure and pain are veils about the core fear. We can be with what Billy said. Can we be with that? Can we be with that? Now look at it. The miracle sees the fear as false, as the dream, as just unhealed, something that's unhealed, unexamined, and rejected. That's why it looks fearful.
Yeah.
And we can do it. We're built to do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, this is cool. We're in paragraph 4 now.
She's moving into giving advice now. So she's done describing the problem and why you won't do anything about it. She's going to give us some action steps. Okay. Action steps.
So she says, when you are angry, is it not because someone has failed to fill the function you allotted him?
Yeah.
Truly it is. And does not this become the reason your attack is justified?
That's just politics.
Yes, it is. It's our lives.
I know, it's everything.
I want to take it down to what's really personal with us, because this is exactly what we were thinking before we went on this trip. When you are angry, is it not because someone has failed to fulfill the function you allotted him? And does not this become the reason your attack is justified?
I know, but you did, Blanche.
Dreams are not wanted more or less. They are desired or not. And each one represents some function that you have assigned, some goal which an event or body or a thing should represent and should achieve for you. Dun 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 dun. Have you
examined? This is really, really delicious to look at. Mm-hmm. Some goal at which an event or a body or a thing should represent. What a body, a goal, an event, what everything should mean. Mm-hmm. And you're right about the way everything should mean, because that would make you perfectly happy, and they aren't doing what you said that they should do.
Right.
Examine the roles and the function that we've assigned everything.
Yeah.
Really, everything.
Yeah.
This failure and success are just whatever desired results that we want. Failure, what we love, whether we say it's failure or success, they are always the desired effect that we worked for, because that's what happened.
Oh, right, because that's what happened.
That's what happened. We on some level are working towards these ends that are causing us so much suffering, which is why the curtain is shredding, right? Because we're seeing through it. So read the next bit.
We are seeing.
That's why you can say that so. She says this so dramatically. Dreams are not wanted more or less.
Yeah.
She's just like cut it out.
They're desired or not.
You want them or not, whether they're good. You want them or not. So discovering our own intent, that mindset, that attitude of healing and what is, and we can do.
Yeah. Okay. Before we only got 2 more paragraphs. Before we do that, I wondered if anybody had any comments or anything they wanted to share or say. I'm going to check the chat here.
Right.
Yeah, that's Regina. Yay! I'm so glad you're here. Okay, cool. So now we're on chapter 5. How happy would your dreams become if you were not the one who gave the proper, quote-unquote, role to every figure which the dream contains?
The dream contains. Right.
No one can fail but your idea of him, and there is no betrayal but of this. I'm going to read that in a second. How happy would your dreams become if you were not the one who gave the proper role to every figure which the dream contains?
Oh, I know. And who doesn't know the proper role for everyone?
I do.
I know.
No one can fail but your idea of him, and there is no betrayal but of this. Perceptions are determined by their purpose in that they seem to be what they are for. A shadow figure who attacks becomes a brother giving you a chance to help. How about that one?
That is literally seeing past your own, like seeing the narrative as it usually plays out and then making a different choice.
Yeah.
Perceptions are determined by their purpose. And if you're working in this attitude of what's my intent, what do I want to happen, you find yourself like doing less and stepping back more and letting the voice that likes you to actually run the show, which is which is way more helpful. Perceptions are determined by their purpose, and they seem to be what they're for. We take action on them because we want. I was going to say we want the results. Yeah. Whether it's but because they'll either confirm our narrative, or they'll break our heart, and we'll have to grow up. So this is about knowing your role, being aware of the things the way we do this in each one of us do it. No one can fail but your idea of him. So we're only ever betraying our ideas about ourselves to ourselves. The betrayer and the betrayed are always just thoughts in our head.
Yeah.
So what's really happening? What are the roles that are really happening? She says it. She goes, well, you have a cry for help. You can do healing, and we're operating again with forgiveness here. Because there's nothing to forgive because this person's already innocent. So are you.
Right.
So remember last week? The world beyond forgiveness. You know what the world beyond forgiveness is? Everybody's innocent.
Yeah.
And that goes back to my when I work at this and do this internal work, what happens when I go and confront old stories as they get healed?
Yay, that's just
right?
what happens.
So knowing your role, either you're the cry for help, or you're the one getting healing, or it's forgiveness for all of this. So read the last bit as we ran down the last 10 minutes here.
Okay, I just want to see if anybody has comments or anything. If anybody wants to share, okay. We'll read the last paragraph. Oh, this is cute. What is your brother for?
You can read the whole thing. This is the last. This is the sixth. The way the Course in Miracles is usually set up. The first paragraph tells you like the basics. She tells you like what the problems are, what kind of the obstacles, and then she repeats it all. And I call this the altar call, as a way of saying this is a beautiful way of summarizing this. See if you can. She just state it again and see if you can catch all the elements.
Yeah. What is your brother for?
Dream Rolls is the name of the chapter. Dream Rolls. It's like Dream Barbie or Dream Ken. Remember that? You remember that? You know,
Definitely.
Dream Bachelor or something like that.
What is your brother for? You do not know because your function is obscure to you.
Oh no.
This is hilarious. Do not ascribe a role to him that you imagine would bring happiness to you.
Would you say that one more time?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Do not ascribe a role to him that you imagine would bring happiness to you.
I know.
And do not try to hurt him when he fails to take the part that you assigned to him in what you dream your life was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
He asks for help in every dream he has, and you have help to give him if you see the function of the dream as he perceives its function.
God's
He, capitalized, he perceives its function. Who, capital, who, can utilize all dreams as means to serve the function given him, capital H. Because he loves the dreamer, not the dream. Each dream becomes an offering of love, for at its center is his love for you, which lights whatever form it takes with love.
So you can light up whatever form that you're taking with love by letting go of the roles we have for ourselves and what we're supposed to be doing, you know, and, don't they know who I am? And, one of the things that Yolanda says a lot is,
Leave people alone.
Leave people alone. I've, it's very true. Mm-hmm. So, I made a note here. My happiness is not determined by the actions of others. Mm. That's what she calls waking. That's the process, right? The world isn't happening to me anymore. Mm. The fundamental shift, the world isn't happening to me anymore. Mm-hmm. I am is happening to the world. Mm. And then you move on to there's only I am, right? Leave people these roles, these dream roles, and the way I need it to be. Because it's going to be great if I'm participating in the my own authenticity, my own integrity. Mm. What is this for? What am I supposed to be about? What words should I be saying? So the request is, be aware of how we think we should behave and other people should behave. Be aware. This is a direct request to pull the meaning out of watching bodies through space. And I love the dreamer and not the dream. Love the dreamer and not the dream.
Wow.
So it just reminded me of that old thing. So love the playa and not the game, right?
Oh, right.
Remember that? So it's like love the dreamer and not the dream. So I'm not here to fix. There's a streak in me that thinks that I need to. It'd be a good thing if people knew what their roles were. They obviously aren't in the right. They didn't get the memo,
right,
or something like that. Because I know, apparently. No,
we blew all that out of the water.
It's a responsibility I didn't really know that I was taking on. It wasn't kind of a really, I guess, a conscious one. Because it's getting so I'm finding more and more subtle ways in which I participate in my own suffering. That I argue with my own mind. Yeah. I'm only upset for the reason I think.
Yeah. Well, I am never upset for the reason I think is the lesson. But but you're only.
I'm only upset by my thinking.
Is your thinking? Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me.
Well, I mean, I just love that lesson.
It is too.
I'm never upset for the reason I think. Yeah, it's really amazing. So to finish this off today, I thought it'd be truly, truly fun to do another sing along. I hope you will do the hand motions.
I can try. You might know these. You might know them.
Yeah.
It's a blast from the past.
It's a blast from the past. This is one of my faves.
Kind of fix. So, let me just say that thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And I'm Reverend Glen Ganaway, your favorite anarchist preacher. And this is the love of my life. And thank you for trusting me so I could trust others.
Exactly. You guys really were with us on this trip to our family.
Truly was.
Truly were. And so
let go of grievances
and
a little bit of willingness.
Yeah,
you know,
just a little
I know.
bit
Side
of
know some of the hand language. I know jazz hands, just to warm up your jazz hands.
Here we go.
Here we go, Cindy.
Follow Glenn.
Okay,
He's
we'll
gonna
try.
do the chair dancing. My strength.
My heart, my soul, my mind, my strength.
My hands, my feet, my everything.
My hands, my feet, my everything.
My heart, my soul, my mind, my strength.
My heart, my soul, my mind, my strength.
My hands, my feet, my everything.
My hands, my feet, my everything.
I give to Holy Spirit to bring miracles
and
blessings.
I give to Holy Spirit to bring miracles and blessings.
Let go of grief
like a hot potato.
Just a little bit of willingness to
accept forgiveness and we are free.
Yeah.
Let go
of grievances.
Just a little bit of willingness to accept forgiveness and we are free.
There you go. Second verse is easy.
All right.
1, 2, ready, and miracles will come to me.
Miracles will come to me
when I forgive the world.
Right. When I forgive the world.
Miracles will come
Jazz
to me.
Hands, miracles will come to me.
When I forgive the world.
Take my heart and give it away.
When I forgive the world.
When I let go
of grievances.
Just a little bit of willingness to accept
forgiveness and
we are free.
Yeah.
Let go
of grievances. Just a little bit of willingness to
accept forgiveness and we are free.
To the bridge.
We are free. We are free. Let go of grievances and we are free. We are free. We are free. Let go of grievances and we are free.
Okay, all the verses together.
Can you remember them all?
Ready, and my heart, my soul, my mind, my strength, my hands, my feet, my everything. I give to Holy Spirit to bring miracles and blessings. Miracles will come to me when I forgive the world. Miracles will come to me when I forgive the world. When I let go of grievances, just a little bit of willingness to accept forgiveness. We are free. Yeah. Let go of grievances, just a little bit of willingness to accept forgiveness. And we are free. We are free. We are free. Accept of grievances and we are free.
Break those chains. I'm in a jail. Break those chains.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
We are free.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Love each and every one of you.
We really love you so much. Herein lies the peace of God is next.
I know.